goosebumps, 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 goosebumps. Holy shit. Gatewater. I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with testimony, but who knew that under that helmet, it was the Wicked Witch of the Witness Dead. Oh, right. This game, they got an update. This game got an update. What the hell? That's so random. That's how did this game get an update? I guess because they're releasing it on, I don't know, this game randomly got an update. That's crazy. That blows my mind. The gallery has been added. It's been out for so long. Okay, listen to view art and animations from the games. That should help with thumbnails, I guess. The episode selection feature has been added. Now you can start any episode from the point of your choice. Autoplay and story mode features have been. Why can't? Oh my god! There we go. Gotta press it fast. Autoplay and story mode features have been added. Autoplay lets you automatically advance conversations, while story mode allows you to automatically solve cases and advance through the story, offering an accessible way to enjoy the. Did they? Oh my god! Did they do that just for me? Oh, I didn't read the rest of it though. Damn, I should have. That's funny as hell. Music player, art book. That's fire. What the hell is that? The hell? Are they? Is that a spoiler? Like, I thought it would only show stuff that I've unlocked. The fuck is this? Oh, this must be maybe old school from the previous games. What in the world? What the fuck? Spoiler, but I mean, is it a spoiler? I don't know. Oh my goodness. Are these DLC fits or like what the hell's going on here? What the hell? What in the world? Who? Okay, yeah. Okay, they just showed. They're just showing everybody. Cause I don't know who that Cyclops looking dude is. Crazy. Scene creator. Recreate scenes. Oh, so you can put in like images or something? Voice playback. What the hell? You get that as create scenes? What the fuck? Okay, I continue. Are we starting the trial? Oh hell. What even? Okay, let's. Adrian did it. That's what it looks like. Let me. Oh, I gotta play it right now. Okay, cool. Oh, they got a unique, for the PlayStation controller. That's fire. Hold on, let me. I can't see my. Okay, there we go. It's been a minute. A glossy photo. Maya pushed onto me. Seems like the Nickel Samurai is to confess something after the post-ceremony show. Originally from Maya's kidnapper, who goes by the name of the Killer. Stolen on the night of the murder. Tabloid articles about the victim was in the case. An article from the tabloid Gossip. Store, beautiful manager. Map of the Gatewater Hotel. Okay. Found next to the victim empty. There is some water, but only on top of the lid. Found next to the victim is filled with tomato juice. No sign it's been drank. Photo of Juan Corrida's murder scene. Deceased Celeste impacts. Found by Juan Corrida was her suicide note hidden. Adrian Andrews' reason. Shock from Celeste impacts his death. Okay, that's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Mia, we must get a complete acquittal today. Today? Shit. I know, but I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pro's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. It's him. This is right. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier... this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry. Please don't die that easily. Then we leave off with her escaping, supposedly? Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Wait. The kidnapper sent me a present. Mr. Lawyer, dude. Who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you. So forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Big nose, bitch. Woo! Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. Are the prosecution and Vince ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. What? I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? The fuck? Your Honor, please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has. This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. Goosebumps, 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 goosebumps. Holy shit. Wow. Goose bumps. What? Is that the present? That's crazy. Shot. Somehow. I think this is the present that man was talking about. So is it gonna be Edgeworth? Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. She's alive and in stable condition. That's good. Phew. Ooh. Oh shit. I thought he'd show up. Yeah. Heroic ass music they gave him. Your Honor. Due to the circumstances, Miss Franziska Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place, nigga. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Oh my gosh, this the finale for real? Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt on guard. This is my comeback, nigga. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case is over, this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. Oh man, I'm just exhausted. The prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. See? Witness, your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct for now. For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Detective Gumshoe, what the fuck? The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Get it together, nigga. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer. Alright, we're good with it. Detective Dick Gumshoe, DDG. Yes, sir. Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Well, this is going to be fun. Especially when I win. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Coretta, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. Interesting. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room? Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone to their room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Awards ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Coretta, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first we thought, okay. I'm not gonna lie, okay, let's go. Let's just go. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal, the ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m. and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Please continue. Okay, got you. The victim, Juan Coretta, was found dead in his hotel room. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant, Matt On Guard's manager. She's a real pretty lady, sir. Oh, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. On Guard. After visiting his room, she went next to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see, and that's when she found the victim's body. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. Oh shit. What did I just do? There we go. Volume was like, okay. The cause of death, wasn't that because Mr. Coretta was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Ooh, yeah, turning your badge. Like, I'm looking at him stabbed in the chest. Like, why is that unreasonable? Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real prostitute would be drawn here to this bandana. Banana? His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yes, I see his banana-scented bandana. Then what about the knife? That could have just been his style. Like, he looked like he would wear that as a style. He like dressed up as a samurai and shit. Seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. We have a crafty murderer on our hands here. strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. At first we thought there was something suspicious about the case, about the empty guitar case. And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. But how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? We thought of that too, but the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? I see. Oh, so much for my theory then. Empty. There is some water, but only on the top of the lid bears Coretta's fingerprints. However, we've later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well, then where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Coretta, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. I believe that is enough. Okay. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. Here we go. Matt on guard and Juan Coretta were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off of the ninja costume and was found in Mr. On Guard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. Yeah, but that knife was just stolen from the old dude's steak. So the defendant's fingerprints are found on the knife used in the stabbing. It was sort of sticky on the handle. So the fingerprints came out pretty clearly. So yeah, she set it up. Somebody set it up for sure. Okay. And there's this button. That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? Is this button also covered in blood? Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What? Jammin' Ninja's button added to the court record. All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does. Your Honor, ready to give in yet, Mr. Wright? Right? I'll find the hole in your argument somehow, and I'll fill it up to the brim. You can press as hard as you'd like, nigga. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Okay. Alright. That was a long testimony. Vanguard were huge rivals. But in terms of popularity, Mr. On Guard won, did he not? Yeah. But you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Coretta was always one step behind Mr. On Guard in everything. This year it seemed like he finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Coretta lost the Grand Prix in the end. That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. Okay. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. On Guard was beating Mr. Coretta in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Yes, I quite agree. Well, detective? It's not, well, I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. That was fucked up. And no, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's... I look forward to your pension negotiations. Fuck. No! Now, detective. Let's continue with the testimony. No, not my poor pension too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Fuck. Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Hello, anyone? As for evidence, there's the Gem and Ninja's button. Okay. Do you have any proof that button belonged to the victim? What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Gem and Ninja's costume. But can't you tell by just looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. Alright, I knew it. I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Not to reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Holy shit. Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. God damn. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. Damn, that is kind of like he cleaned for that. He cleaned for that. It was ripped off of the ninja's costume and was found in Mr. Engarde's haka. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the murder. The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. Oh, hold on. Hold it. How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Yeah, because a stabbing is going to be different than, you know, holding it for, cutting a steak, you know? What do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. Hello? Love that. Love to hear that. I'll be right over. I'm just recording right now. Love you. Bye. Alright. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So is the defendant the owner of this knife then? The defendant, okay. The defendant, okay. There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry, pal, this isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either. Alright, well, this is not good. Yeah, if it's there, that goes to show that it wasn't meant for murder. If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix. And it was a butter knife, bro. Like, at least it looked like a butter knife. Yes. There is something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. A button covered in the victim's blood and a knife with Engarde's fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. But before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix? Matt Engarde and Juan Kurita were huge rivals with each other. Okay, so I gotta present evidence. It was ripped off of the ninja. Okay. was ripped from his costume. It is covered in Corita's blood found in Oddguard's Hakama. Okay, it's not a butter knife, bro, but bear the victim's blood and Oddguard's fingerprints in the grip. Gatewater is engraved. What is Gatewater? The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes it. Save that. Alright, so we pressed everything, right? So I'm guessing we present the knife because it says bought. Like Gatewater is engraved. I'm going with that. Gatewater Hotel. That's the hotel's name, right? Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument that this was premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand. That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about. What a crazy miss. Huh? It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle. Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. No, this nigga's dumb. He's funny as shit, boy. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? This nigga. I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't know. The question is, where did this knife come from? Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corita's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. There's a knife and a fork on the table. There's a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt on guard. Especially what was on top of his table. There's something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife. Right, yeah, right. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt on guard's knife was missing. Mr. On guard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was premeditated. Nigga. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliant, clear... Okay, whatever he said. It seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. A murder weapon with fingerprints that abutted from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your honor's time, nigga. Although, a real nigga would like to say something. I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well, Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat. Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court? I want to say no. I'm thinking no is the right answer. Let me go. Y'all know I'm not trying to waste my time, and they could be weird with like how long it takes you to realize that you picked the wrong choice. Okay, where are we at? Phoenix Wright. Farewell, my turnabout? Yeah. Yeah. What? No. Part 1? How do I... There we go. Wait, where are we? We're in the trial 2-1, right? For sure. Okay, we already did all that. Yeah, present the knife. Okay, we did that. Darn the trap. Edgeworth challenges you to present. Not only that, you're given one chance to prove it. Warning, make sure to save, because if you present anything other than the wine... Well, it's the wine glass. Then the wine glass in the next part, you will get a game over. Yeah, see, I'm not trying to go through all that. Actually, I do, sure. I guess that's it. They skipped it. They say, darn the trap. Edgeworth challenges you to present new evidence to counter his claim. Not only that, you're given one chance to prove it. Warning, make sure... Yeah, they didn't even say, like... They didn't even put which choice to select right there before they told you what to present. So I'm not going to read that anymore. Unless I'm like... Yeah, I'm going to stay away from that. Unless I'm like fucking really lost. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see. Say that one more time. Yeah, however, I'm giving you one chance. Yeah. You may not present. Okay. Wine glass. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over, along with everything else, is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say? Ah, well, yes, it is a little peculiar. Yes, isn't it? I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth? What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion. You don't need my opinion, because there is no special meaning to that glass, nigga. What? This nigga. It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, right? Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? Is my recording good? We good? Could she have set that glass down without thinking? I'm gonna say, I already said there's no way. I'm gonna say there's no way. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. Right? I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct at point with certainty. They just might fall for it. If you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table. You turned the situation on its head, yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, nigga. Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then? Of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one they were of one Adrian Andrews. What? Wineglass updated. Bears Andrews' fingerprints. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Okay, so if she left her fingerprints on that, that means she wasn't wearing gloves, which means her fingerprints would have been on the knife if she used it. I don't know what happened. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? I can't believe I fell into another trap. I mean, she couldn't take her gloves off if she used gloves, but it's like, I don't know. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Coretta. I don't think so, because the tomato juice was there in the room, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Wasn't it? It was there in the room. So it's like, I guess you could have taken it from on guard's room, but that's so random. They're both drinking tomato juice. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Coretta. Like, it was tomato juice in it, right? Yeah, tomato juice. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. What you just said makes a lot of sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now, do you see, nigga? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I've come to discover. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecutor has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecutor has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Thank goodness, because we almost lost. He got too cocky. He talking about learning to become a prosecutor. He got too cocky. Now we have a chance. Now we have a chance, y'all. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh. Prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Adrian, I assume? Yes, bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? All right. Let's go. Oh shit, I'm darker than already. There we go. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation. What the fuck? Gotcha. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Edgy boy, it's been what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with their testimony, but who knew that under that helmet, it was the Wicked Witch of the Witness dead. Oh man, I fuck with her. I fuck with her heavy. I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything, even things that I don't have to do with that terrible crime. Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Shush, I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Gramps? Yes, madam. No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. I want that other head hot. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dear Yuan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you were a fan of the victim? Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly, so contrived, so youthful. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Coretta. But those two were the same age. Anyway, I was saying, hold on, I want to look at something real quick. How old are they? Last time we looked at some ages, we were like, what? 24, 23, 21, 21. Question mark 23. I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Here we go. Anyway, it on fire. Oh my fucking goddamn thing. Oh god. My toe, I mean. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. He was on guard, Matt on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. They're gay, and they're in love with each other, and Adrian didn't like that. I don't know. So one guard came out of the victim's room. Okay. See, it has to be him. He's the murderer. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Oh my gosh. Anyway, after the ceremony, I was okay, pace around the hallway. Hold it. Miss Holdbag, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show, but I refused to help. I'll have you know, it was for that lead-headed samurai show. Hey, I even took out a few of the nails. What the fuck? Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. What the fuck? Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. Adrian? So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door. There was something I was interested in finding out. Or just what was that? It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. I and Edgy Poo, of course. Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. Trying to find out about him and if he was really in a relationship with that chick. It looks like we shouldn't force it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. Alright. Oh, then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Critta's room? I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am. Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information was to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. Didn't you just say it was on guard? In the next part of your testimony? The man that came out of Juan's room, yes, he was. I'm too scared. I can't say this name out loud. What? What I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whoop right about now. Well, I guess I could tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway. It was on guard. Yeah, I'm like, she says it anyway. What are you talking about? You saw my client? Are you sure about that? Yeah, see. Really? Annoying, Brad. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit deeper. person's face, what the person was carrying, the person's clothes. The face? I don't know. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail. You don't need me to tell you about his face. That soft, gentle look in his eyes and his effeminate lips. His right eye covered by his silky hair, his sparkling, shiny teeth. His teeth were shining? Well, he's shining all around in this week's pinup poster, dearie. Ooh, this week's pinup? Why do you... I mean... I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please stay with what you saw that night. What? On guard's face is the same no matter where it is, you know? You whippersnapper? So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just not important or irrelevant anyway? Oh god, this seems like something that's gonna be... Okay. Let me just go. It was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Fuck. Perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. You don't really have to put it that way to get me to say it. Mr. Wright, there's something much more valuable than a person's pride, and that is time. Please don't waste this court's precious time with worthless questions. Yes, Your Honor. I think I just wasted his good favor. She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us, really bad. But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Anyway, after the ceremony, oh god, I feel like I was supposed to select something in that last part, in that last bit. But if not, then I would say there's something I was interested in finding out, you know. I would present the article about them dating. The gossip one. Okay. So that's what I am thinking is the solution here, or I just go back and I select the right choices in that last bit. Let me see. Hold by what you witness. Press on the second statement. This isn't required. As it is about her and Coretta. Sounds interesting, but Mia doesn't feel it is right time to wait. Am I in the right? Press on the, okay, this, oh, that's, okay, press on old bags. Fifth statement, how can she tell she saw on guard? Oh, we give it person's clothes. Okay, yep. I figured it had to be something right there. And I wasn't going to just start clicking stuff. Oh, autoplay, I can, wait, okay, what if I do this? Oh, it was on. Whatever. Press it, and then the press is closed. Okay. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters. But it does. Now, what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing. What thing? The gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket. He was wearing that at the detention center too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men. Right. So, Mr. Wright. Was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? It was very important, I guess. Is that the answer? It was very important. Okay. Okay. Then perhaps you like those. You see it, Edgeworth? Oh, Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but all right, witness, please. All right. Well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket? Bro, I'm cold as... Okay. What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it. She's so sure of herself. That's it. That it's the point. Okay, she is so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption. She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us. Okay, that wasn't... Hold on. It was very important. Old bag adds the jacket to her testimony. Okay. Is there anything else that she... Matt on guard. Yeah, his racing jacket. Is it, hold on, let me... I don't even know what it could be. Don't know. The judge asks you if old bag. Yeah, it was very important. He was wearing the. Yeah, okay. I present the Jammin' Ninjas button on that statement. He's wearing his racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show. On this statement, present the button. I don't even, I'm not going to read further, but what? It's ripped from his costume. It's covered in Coretta's blood, found in On Guard's Hakama. If he was wearing the red jacket, he wasn't wearing the Hakama. Why would the button be in there? Okay, hold on. Let me lock in, y'all. I just ate like a bunch of nachos. I'm feeling stuffed. I'm feeling lethargic. Let me lock in. 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 Oh my gosh, Miss Oldbag. Don't say my name for no reason. Let me, we good? Are we good? Okay. Do you know what this is? It's for button number 2 on Jammin' Ninja's costume. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it here. Give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this. Wow, she really is a diehard fan. To want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. On Guard's body during a full body search. See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal On Guard. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants. See? And On Guard is the nickel samurai. Witness. Now it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt On Guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, bro. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, but instead I have to put up with wearing this ridiculous, this outfit is hideous, right? I've got a tape recorder stuck on my chest. It's heavy, so heavy. I wish we would have switched to CDs. Dream alive for all those kids out there. Understand? Now take a look in the mirror. Your clothes are about as interesting as a documentary on curling. You should take a tip or 10 or... Okay. God damn, I'm too tired for that. Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. On Guard, the man, but Mr. On Guard, the nickel samurai. But when you think about it, so she straight up just lied. she talked about she saw the face, talks about the racing jacket. I mean, or she didn't lie and she really did see that. And obviously the button could have been placed on the costume, which makes sense. They're really one and the same anyway. Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Angie Pooh, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Alright, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. Let me lock in what I saw. On guard, on guard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? Now she changed up her story. Okay, so she's just full of shit. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. But he wasn't wearing it when he left? I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Do you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things. You said you saw his face too, like. But the possibility does exist. Ah, young is it today. I told you there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. Holy shit. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Alright. On guard, on guard. Now I remember. Now you remember. Goofy ass. Goofy ass. You please get on with your testimony. Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be. Okay, as you should. Okay. If you keep barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs. What? A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the Nickel Samurai. She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts. Okay, you promise, right? What the fuck, is gum a code word? Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum. I thought that shit said scum. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Oops. Alright. That's what I saw. Be a little more careful with your testimony. Come on now. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not, right? Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this. When you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper? My dream? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. So what? See? And look at where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you? What the fuck? Well, what I said earlier, who puts any weight into things like that? The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. Goofy. Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies? All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Is that enough? Okay. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. Oops. And why would that be? That way no one could see his face, of course, but there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more. You are such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say. Isn't that what you're always doing to me? I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume. He had to get to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show? Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing. That included the Gem and Ninja. Of course it included him. That's why when On Guard came out of Derry Wan's room, I didn't give it a second thought. I see. Well, anyway. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor John. Okay. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai, as showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning? Beginning? Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need to think too hard on this one. Huh? There's a contradiction in her testimony and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Okay. The Nickel Samurai. I mean, I'm thinking, okay. But that's whatever. Okay, it says he has his fingerprints, but the costume he has on gloves. However, if they're right and it was the knife from the room, from Kurita's room, or sorry, on guard's room, then it could have his fingerprints on it beforehand. But I guess if that's the case, you're depending on that, then you don't know who stabbed him. Because if the fingerprints are from just before, that doesn't mean that that person stabbed him. I guess it's the glove. I mean, okay, how can she tell it was on guard? Same mistake. So when the person's clothes, present the knife. This is a rather easy one, nigga. Fuck you. Please take a look at this. Yes, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That's a knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because of the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I am driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? If Mr. On Guard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Huh? Well, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? But how would that... I guess that could wipe the fingerprints off. He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. Why would he do that? And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? Right, what? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's story? So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? There's a contradiction. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. But what are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. On Guard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. A magazine clipping? Fountain. There's some water, but only on top of the... I'm thinking magazine clipping? Wait. There's a contradiction. Had no intention. When asked to support your claim, present the knife. Oh, because he took the knife. He took the knife from the room. Yeah, duh. Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna do magazine clipping, guys. This knife. This was used by Mr. Angard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Coretta, I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Oh, that's genius. That's actually genius. I mean, at this point, I might as well go story mode. Because I'm... Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing, bitch. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Sure. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. So I'm thinking, order, I say order. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? To frame. It's to frame my client. To frame. Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? Objection! Hey, like his objection sounds like, yeah, objection, yeah, I'm objecting. But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness? Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Jipu? Witness, did you or did you not really see the fucking samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Angard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in the front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Coretta. Am I correct? That's why I assumed this whole time. Did she not make that clear? I guess she didn't. I genuinely thought. Let me look. What was she saying? There's something I was interested. Okay, I went to Pace in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out. Well, since I was on the job. Okay, sure. The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Coretta. Maybe Phoenix. Maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think me is hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Oldbag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Because the rumors, right? Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Angard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is, I see. The judge seems to be really into the article. If it can be called such a thing. Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I could throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then. Witness? What in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information, some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation in secret, of course. Okay. But what for? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide. Very well. The witness, please testify about this secret information. Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you youngins. Ah, lordy. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. Okay. That on guard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such a dirty trick, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay? The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposed is, in fact, baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine. Be careful, the old bag seems rather excited now. That's right, on guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Okay. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. What the fuck? The Iron Guard is well. I mean, that's not gonna be useful. He thought he could ruin poor Juan. A scandal? What do you mean by that? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids? Okay. I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Holy shit. Well, what on guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity? I said that on guard. Okay. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. You don't have any proof. That Mr. On guard, I pressed on accident. You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth. Now since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right. You're right, I can't do anything, but boy do I wish I could do something about you. Alright, Sonny. Show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that On Guard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan? They didn't bear any ill will toward Juan? I'm ready. Okay, old bag will now testify with secret information. I'm trying not to read any. Okay. Press on the fifth statement. Is this the fifth statement? If this is the right, present evidence. I'm not going to let you push me around that easily. There's many a man who said those exact words and paid dearly for them. Well, maybe you should brace yourself this time. Here's my proof that Mr. On Guard did not hold any ill will towards the victim. Maybe I read the wrong thing. Hold on. And I have to click. So I read choose present evidence. Oh, I guess I'm wasting my time here. I got fucked up. I fucked up. I'm supposed to present evidence. That's it. I'm not supposed to do anything. What are you handing it over to me for? So you could give the jagged-headed baboon boy a message from me, please. Tell him that no matter what he does, the only thing he's good at is failing. What she said, right? Or should I say baboon boy? Okay. Yes, I agree. This isn't much. Okay, baboon boy. Okay. Y'all ain't gotta tell me that. I'm keeping all my health out there. Decline. That's why I was gonna select, but I wanted to make sure, because otherwise I'd just be using process of elimination if I really thought there was evidence or something. But you were lecturing me? Okay, blah 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 blah. Oh, so apparently I'm supposed to. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet. Okay, I'm supposed to present Lada's camera right here. Okay. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Oh, really? Objection denied. Try to think. Oh, I'm supposed to press and then. Okay, I guess I'm supposed to press first. Wait, what? I'm busy with secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this is secret information? Oh, well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole into my brain, you'll never find out. How in the world did that old bag get such a secret piece of information? And now I present evidence. Okay. That's true. Then why do you know it? Well, why are you looking at me like that? Stop that, witness. I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your information. Camera. Investigative photographer Lada Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrage impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you say? Oh my god, dude. My fucking... We need to find that camera. My lip, man. That camera could blow everything wide open. No, I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless? Ah, that's it. That's the note. Ah. Ah! No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note? I'm a huge fan of Juan's. That's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. That nappy-headed hoe. She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself, on guard. I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly little duck. Silly little fuck, if you ask me. I was only checking what she had written. Okay. So it's not your grocery list. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? Nigga. I was only trying to help out, like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Okay. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Paul on more pressure to fuck? If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness. You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, damn it. And I can prove it. Okay, Phoenix. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Miss Old Bag. I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. I believe it was the camera too. Yeah. Miss Old Bag. That note was with a camera inside his case, wasn't it? Yeah. The camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie, $1,600. Yeah. Why? Why? Witness. What is it, Gramps? Hello? Are you here with us? Are you still alive? Are you gonna kill over? Like, are you paying attention? Having a heart attack? Seizure? Like, if you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too. Looks like you found me out, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? Oh, what the fuck? That's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I find love and borrow things from people. I think your definition of borrow is a little off. I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, slime bag celebrity photographer extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know things. Oh, hell no. Who be hiring her? Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. Holy shit. Here we go. Here we go. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. Okay. Long gloves. Okay, this is the Nickel Samurai. See, I told you. That's the guy I saw. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. Picture taken in the hallway right after the murder. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Angard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. Interesting. If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is him, the defendant. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now that's solid. Now that's solid. That's solid. That's solid. Fuck. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's... I mean, my default brain, I'm thinking, thank goodness I can save here. My immediate thinking is to say something strange with it, but I don't know what would be strange with it. Wait, is this his room? Wait, this is him leaving. This is the Nickel Samurai leaving On Guard's room, right? Because On Guard had the flowers. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm sure. I don't remember. I can't really see his hand, his other hand, so I don't know if it's like, if it has the gears. I mean, his pants are like right here, you can clearly see his feet. But right here where he's just standing, his shit's dragging on the ground. Now this photo. Say there's something strange with it. Okay. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree here. Sorry. Let me check my recording right now because I'm trying to get comfortable, y'all. You feel me? All right. I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with the bunker buster. Okay. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you could honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Oh, hell. Like, is he leaving? Is that in my court record? Which room is he leaving? Because, I mean, I can't really see. Because he's not holding the knife, but if he's leaving Coretta's room, then the knife would be in him. But he's wearing gloves. Did we ever get over the fact that if he's wearing gloves, then the fingerprints would be wiped away or something? I'm so lost at where we are. Like, I could have sworn. Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't just let this chance get by, slide by, whatever. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot? Especially when it counts. This bitch sucks. Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange? Okay. Okay, so there's a teddy bear here, so I guess he is leaving Coretta's room. So my guess would be the glove. Okay, if you are given one chance to prove, so. One chance, you examine the photo, present the feet area. If you look at the posters, yeah, his socks are showing. I didn't think, because before there was a whole nother case in the original game, bro, where I was like, that nigga, obviously his feet are, but I feel like they were like, nah, that ain't it. And I was so confused. But yeah, this time the feet, it is relevant. Yeah. Hey, but I said it. Y'all heard me say that the socks were like easily seen and shit. But you can't see them here. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here. What are you pointing to? His ankles? If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And what does that mean? The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard. What is the meaning of this? Objection. I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Yep, you can see him. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. His socks, you can see his socks. Exactly. However, in this photo, the next samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. I don't clearly see that, but yeah, sure. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. What is this? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't fail under attack at all. He doesn't fail under attack, then I haven't damaged his case at all. Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. What? Right. I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Yeah, it does feel like he just logged with her. Right? I mean, that's not really his case. He took it on, but who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? I would say... First guess? AA. Wait. Warning, like the wine glass, if you choose anywhere else but the feet in Lotta's photo, it's game over again. Make sure you have a save spot. Okay. Seems you have disproved his claims. Yep, AA. Thought so. AA. If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman. Why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short, and she can freely move in and out of Mr. Engarde's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Engarde that night. And how does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item, the knife, with his fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? Huh? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss AA in the murder of Juan Coretta. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. That's what I thought, but I don't know. I don't know. It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If AA is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? Yeah, the kidnapper. If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya... Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to raise an objection. Now then. Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today. I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if she is not. I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. Yeah, he got that music down, boy. That's his music right there. But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Tisk tisk. Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. And what do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss AA is all. Happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. Damn. What? The people in the back talking. What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss AA is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. Holy shit. She's the next witness, nigga. What the fuck? Everything was planned out in advance by that man? Somehow, I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly, nigga. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Wow. Okay. Well, there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Keep your head up. Peace.
If all goes as planned.